I'm doing okay. I got ahead of the pack there. Hello folks, welcome to Netcruzer RC. Alright, week 6 of the Ontario VRC Off-Road Racing Club and doing 8 scale Spec Buggy again. This time we're on a very challenging track, at least to me it is. This is Padova IBR. It is a big outdoor, I guess it's got a bit of a roof over it, but it's a big track with a lot of elevation changes and it's extremely difficult. So I've just done about 3 or 4 laps just trying to learn some of it, but I'm just going to give you a qualifier right now. I'm going to say race, and we're going to do my race event right now, and you'll get to see how poorly I do. So I have down geared. I found that my max gearing, I was way overshooting the straightaway. So I have dropped myself from around a 6 FDR down to an 8.24 FDR. I'm leaving it at 40-degree steering lock, Buggy 1 tires, and I have put on a high downforce wing this time. So yeah, this track is extremely challenging. I've also got it zoomed out because if you don't zoom out, you really can't see what's coming. So when I'm in the back area there, my car is very small, but it kind of has to be, or else you can't see it. So I'm just going to come around and we'll just do it live. 4-minute qualifier. This is my first qualifier attempt. You're going to get to see my first run, probably my worst run. We're going to do it right now.
Get ready.
Holding my radio up so you guys can see it. And we'll get started.
Your clock has started.
Driver, the pit row ends right at the start-finish line, so you didn't get a flying lap. I probably should have done the reverse exit like we did in some other laps. So this one you got to hit almost full power. I tend to do that a lot. I find depth perception extremely challenging on this track because you can't really tell when some things are changing position. So that big jump I do, a problem there. Again, that big dip, it's there. This also has a big curve to it. I tend to always hit the wall over there, and then the pipes, it's surprisingly tight. And yeah, so that's a lap. Then you got to let off,
lap 1,
or else you'll fly into the wall.
36
so you have to let off before you see the corner approaching, or you'll screw it right up. And that's also why I've down geared, because when you're going so fast, whoops. When you're going so fast with max gearing, come on now, I tended to overshoot the straightaway every time. I also find this is extremely loose surface. So even though I've got the softest tires on and I put on a higher downforce wing, I'm still finding the track to be a little bit icy, I guess. It just feels really loose, like it's a loose packed dirt. Well, maybe it is in real life. I don't know. Seems like it's pretty dusty.
Lap 2, 44.16 seconds.
I'm not sure what my best lap ever yet, but I'm sure I can do better than that. I'm having to be extra cautious, so. And I'm not really sure what the best way to land the jumps is, but you're seeing me do this for one of the first times. I got it right that time. If I get around here okay and don't screw up some of the back section, this will be my fastest lap yet. But I am trying to be a little bit more cautious to avoid crashing. Come around here. That's around half throttle and full throttle. Let off, turn in.
Lap 3, 39.63 seconds.
Half throttle.
Lap 4, 42.97 seconds.
And more power. Drop in. Ooh, that was nice. Did it well that time. Same with that. That's okay. I'm finding this track, I think it's going to reward going slower. Whoa! Because you really don't have anywhere where you can put the power down. There's a corner or an elevation change every second.
.30 seconds to go. Lap 5,
Okay, this will be the last lap.
41.82 seconds.
Whoa, I'm way offside. Dang it. I knew it when I was approaching the jump. I shouldn't have. No one would marshal you up the hill. Right. Maybe I should gear down again, because I'm almost just using half throttle to quarter throttle all the time, except for on that straightaway. So that's it. But I got an 80% track record.
Seconds.
So, whoops.
You have finished. Drive back to the pit lane.
All right,
Your
so that was my
result
first run.
is
6 laps in 4 minutes and 18.34 seconds.
6 and 4:18. We'll see how that stacks up against the competition. Racing just opened today, so no one else has really ran yet. So we're going to see how I do. That's probably going to put me in the A main, but I won't stay there for very long. See how the results look at right now. No, put me in position 9. So I'm in the top 10 at least, but I'm 14 seconds off the guy ahead of me, so that's not very good. We're gonna have to work a lot to get faster on this track. So we'll come back after the mains are all done. I'll show you what my best main. All right, we're back. It's many days later. The mains are done. So I want to show you what my best main run was.
welcome to this track. Enjoy your racing.
This is my C main race, and we're gonna watch how I did against some of the competition. So this will be a 10-minute main, and we're gonna see how I did. Out of all the racing that we've done over the past 6 weeks, I found this track the hardest to work on because it's so hard to see. It's really deep and the depth perception really throws you off. So we're going to watch my race here and we'll see how I do.
4, 3.
All right. Let me get it onto me and onto driver stand view. So yeah, this is what I'm talking about. From this driver stand position, that far corner is quite hard to see, and then once you get into the back corner by the back wall, that is also quite hard to see, and it throws off your depth perception quite a bit. So I'm coming around here. I'm currently in second place. I'm the buggy with the yellow wheels, and yeah, I'm doing okay. I got ahead of the pack there. So what I just did there, very clean, is the hardest part of the whole track for me, and I found that extremely difficult to try and judge your depth perception. So it took me quite a few tries to get that right. Those jumps there where you're coming around, you can hit those full power. So you can hit those at full power. This one here is about half power, roll around. This is also a half power jump. If you take that full speed, then you'll hover in the air too far. Tucking in that little roundabout there tight is quite difficult. As you can see there, when I came down off the little jump there, I went wide. And then this back corner again. Quite difficult for me, but I was being very cautious, trying to do that nice and slow, making sure that you're tucking inside. This track, it's really hard to see, so it's almost like a sunken in valley of the track layout. So from some sight lines, your car is completely obscured by the wall. So I'm choosing to always race in driver's stand position because I feel like that's the most realistic. I'm trying to use this as a simulator, keep my skills up. But things like when I get into that back corner, if you're on the inside line, you won't be able to see your car at all because the whole track is like a bowl. So there, cars disappeared, and then you got to stay inside or you'll hit the wall. If you try and drive that where you think you're in a good position, you will be way wide and you'll end up hitting that white back wall. Anyway, I'm just going to let this keep going, and I'll let you see how I race. I'm currently still holding second position, 1.8 seconds behind the leader. I was really hoping to make the B main for this, but I just didn't qualify well enough. And I only got 2 chances to do this main. The timing, the way they set up this race, the timing was weird. It ended up ending at 11:30 p.m. Eastern time on Friday night, which usually I thought it rolls over to Saturday or it ends at midnight. Anyway, I only had 20 minutes to run my main, so I only had 2 chances before I timed out. So I ran one, and then I believe this is my second one, which was my fastest. You just saw a screw up there in that back corner, just a little bit of a fishtail. I also find this track, once you get a little bit out of position, it's really hard to recover because the pipes are really hard and the walls are banked, and it'll throw you off for a good half a lap if you screw up. I'm running an 8.30 FDR, and I did turn down my steering to 36-degree lock, where as opposed in my first qualifier that you saw, I was running a 40-degree steering. So I turned down my steering rate, and I think I also geared down a bit. So I was running F 8.30 FDR. Because on this track, you have almost no good opportunity to use full power, so you need the acceleration. So I'm slowing down from the leader. I'm now 2.35 seconds behind the leader. He is in my view there, but I don't think I get a chance to really catch up on him much. So we'll see how I do by the end. think we could probably go to a different type of a camera view. Might as well get some different type shots. We'll do a follow cam for a while. Get to see what this looks like. So you come around here. And then approaching the big jump. Nice. Too much. And then you try and tuck that in tight, but it's quite difficult to tuck that in tight. Then you've got a little fall off. Again, then I usually screwed that one up. And then this is where you can see how close I am to the wall, and from driver stand position it probably looked like I was way inside. So it's quite difficult, I find, this track, mostly because of sight lines. This is now on TV camera, so it'll change camera positions to track me around. Follow cam 3, which is, whoa, sorry, you can't watch that very well. Just playing around with camera view now. TV cameras, how many good TV cameras are there? This is like drone shot view. Oh, there's a big screw up. That was my worst marshal. I believe that was a 45-second lap because I screwed up there, and then I believe I also screwed up another spot on this track because that threw me off. So I think I have another marshal on the same lap. Yep, right there. So yeah, this turns into a 45-second lap, which is my worst one. If I did not have this one bad lap, it would have been probably a 5 to 8 second quicker run, which would have been much better. I don't think still quite enough to win, but we'll see how I do here in the end. So let me get back into driver's stand position. I also think I was running it from position 3. We can play around with driver's positioning a bit. If you're over at 10, see how hard it is from driver's stand 10. So I believe I was running it on 3. That looks about right. Everyone's kind of all out in their own there, except for these guys in the back. We could watch them a bit. Whoops, where is everyone bunched up? These 3 guys are quite competitive. That one guy just crashed, but that's Raj, Adam, Ross, and Alpha Stone are all fighting it together. I think Raj is the brightly colored one. He usually runs bright pink bodies. I know Raj in real life, we should say. And yeah, he's a pretty good run. Actually, it took me 2 runs to beat him. He beat me on his first run, I believe. That little drop-off section there, it can screw you up. It's if you hit that at full power, that last section before you're coming around the final corner, where it's got the whoops on the downhill. If you hit that at full speed, it's more consistent and you rarely screw up, but it's slower. Versus if you try and hit the downs and do it right, it's faster, but it's a lot harder to do with a lot more risk. So we'll see how he approaches it again on the secondary run. So he's doing that back section okay, but I believe, I talked to Raj, I believe he drives it in follow view. So yeah, that was a little bit more aggressive, which is safer, but slower. So yeah, he runs in follow view, which is probably why he's not hitting the walls as much. Let's get back into me. I'm now 12.6 seconds behind the leader, so that really bad lap, that killed me. And then just off pace the whole time. I believe every lap, the first position driver, Steve Davidsor, has been just doing cleaner overall laps than me every run. So let's watch a couple of laps by him and see how he does. Oh, there's a big screw up. He seems to play around with air control a lot more than I do. You can tell by the way his car's moving in the air how much throttle input he's doing in the air. I usually just try and get it into a proper position that I want to land it in and just leave it. yeah, almost every time he's in the air, he's playing with that to try and level out the car. See how he does this section. Pretty good. So he's coming up to lap some of the guys that are on the back end of this race. Yeah, he plays around with air control a lot. All right, we've got 45 seconds left. Let's jump up back onto me. And again, now I'm 14 seconds behind. So we'll see how I do by the end. I don't think I end up being that far behind the leader, but we'll see. I wonder if he screws up at the very end. 30 seconds left. So that was me trying to do that smoothly, which maybe I shouldn't have been bothering in a main, but if you can do it right, it is a little bit faster. Or at least it certainly looks faster. Oh, there was a big screw up there, hit the wall. So Steve, the leader, went by the finish line, so I'm now 13.9 seconds behind him. And I think I make up even more time. It's now time over, so we're all on our last lap. It's time over. The race is done, but it's the first to... You get your time when you cross the line. Here we go. Last corner, and then finish strong, full speed. And you can tell how low I'm geared. That was a full speed pull across that whole straightaway. And that's all the top speed I had, because you need the low gearing to do well in this race. Alrighty guys, so that's my finish. I did finish in 14 seconds behind the leader. So Steve Davison got it at 10:14, I was 10:28, Raj 10:35, and then everyone else was a lap behind. Alright guys, that's the end of the VRC Ontario Off-Road Racing Series as scheduled right now. So all the racing is done. I think I'm also going to back away from VRC a bit and start working on some of my real RCs a bit more, because this has been taking up a lot of time every week for doing my qualifiers and my mains. With all the attempts that you can do, it really chewed up a lot of time as you're being extra competitive and trying to win. So anyway, I'll probably do a couple more VRC videos in the future, but I don't think I'll be putting them out every week anymore. I appreciate you guys who watched along this series. It was fun for me, something fun to do while we're all stuck at home that keeps your racing skills up. So I do highly recommend this simulator if you have the means to have a PC that can run it. Most PCs can run it now because this game is quite old, but you do need to make it feel right. You do need that USB adapter to hook into a radio receiver, and all along I've just been racing on a Traxxas old radio. Works great. Alright guys, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. If you're new on here, subscribe. If you want to talk to me, leave a comment down below, and as always, thanks for watching.